I assume at this point, and forgive me because you and I have never met, my background is pretty simple. I used to be a training instructor at the Academy in Oklahoma City. I'm an ATP rated pilot, AMP. I've been with IA authorization. I'm a dispatcher. We do this full time. We've been in business since 1989. And this is all we do. We're not unemployed pilots or unemployed mechanics.
Well, when I listen to the news, which is often wrong, but it's often wrong about every issue. When I hear something that's wrong in aviation.
So you don't know of any other illustration where a pilot has turned off intentionally the transponder?
No, we would want to be on radar as much
Everybody's
as we
got
can
opinions.
because we want aircraft separation from air traffic control.
Everybody wants to be on the
wanna
news.
know-
You need to learn, you need to educate yourself a little bit about it, and then you find out what the issues really are.
No, but this is a very unusual situation.
It's the second time now. We've got over 400 people lost because of this exact same scenario.
They're not lost with that 16G seat. They're in the seats in the airplane. You can't leave.
The Malaysian 377, the reason why it scares the heck out of me is because that's the best ballistic missile you could ever get your hands on.
Yep.
It's the most covert ballistic missile you could ever get your hands on. All I have to do is re-identify the aircraft. I can fly it as a charter or a tourism flight into the United States. Have no passengers on board. Every seat can be packed with an explosive, and I fly straight to the Capitol building. Who's going to stop it?
Today he will.
Don't say it was my idea.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Danny, do you have a general time frame I can tell any of the CE 750 release people when? Or do you
Down
want
in final QC right now.
When Congress investigated the FAA and started asking questions about what field officers do, they couldn't respond too well. Okay, so they were charged with some way to know all of that. Now they got what they call PTRS. So where you have to make a record of everything you do and put it in a computer. And in Washington can look at all of that information.
What's going on with that checklist? Are you able to get somewhere with that
What
one?
dumb knee-jerk reaction you'll have to deal with today?
Are you serious?
New generation of pilots and what they do or don't know? Fran, you want to take that one? They look good on paper.
They look good on paper.
You give them a
They
job.
talk good. Problem was they weren't that good at pilots. Their basic skills of flying the airplane, not the autopilot, but flying the airplane, just weren't there.
We put so much technology in these airplanes
Right.
today that the decision-making skills are really being pulled a lot away from the pilot.
PDK Tower, November 68 Charlie, 3 miles.
It's like association. We deal with the issues that affect all VPOs.
Today, they get their opinion thinking that they are the police officers of the world, of aviation. And unfortunately, today, they're not the most knowledgeable ones. The FAA was formed under the Aviation Act and the Commerce Act to enhance commerce. And it is now the one thing aviation, the FAA, could give a crap less about.
The FAA slowed down and they decided that they weren't going to work for a while, so they shut everything down, and that put every one of our customers that were waiting on the FAA on hold.
Oh, they give me reason. I don't have to find it. They literally put it out there for me to honestly want to slap the FAA.
They see their job now as looking out for safety, which I don't have a problem with, but at the detriment of commerce.
What the FAA is concerned about is the safety of the operation. And we're talking about the whole system. We're talking about maintenance, we're talking about the pilots, we're talking about the people who have operational control releasing the airplane. Most of the time that Danny and I deal with carriers, what we find is the people they hire for management that the reg requires don't know the rules well enough.
All the pilots are saying that you should leave it in the hands of the pilot. You should leave it in the hands of the pilot. You should leave it in the hands of the pilot.
There's 800,000 pounds of airplane and no records. That's what really just still baffles me.
It baffles the heck out of me too. But my point is, pilots think they have to be in control. This airplane has two components on the airplane that tell it where it is at all times. It's called a transponder. This transponder provides data in mode S that tells me the registration number on the aircraft, its altitude, its airspeed. Technology has changed so that effective December the 12th, 2013, to fly in Australia, Vietnam, New Zealand, parts of China, these transponders must be able to broadcast Not only that, but its position. Once it's installed on that aircraft, pilots can't do anything. They don't even know when it's transmitted.
Do you feel more safe now going through an airport than you did back then?
That's a good question.
Tell the truth.